Hey entertainers, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I am currently at home. It is not a tour weekend for me, so I'm pretty much chilling. So I figured that for this video, I do something a tad bit different to show you some of the things that I use and pack in my bag when I'm traveling on these different tours. So with that being said, I'm super excited for you to be here again, and thank you for watching another video. I need a nicking conversation, can you call for me? I got a feeling this is more than what we both say. I got a feeling this is more than a feeling. I am going to show you some of the essentials that I take on tour. So let's get into the day. One of the very first things that I take and keep in my bag when I'm on tour is, y'all may understand this one. Y'all definitely know what this is. It is a mini fan. Girl, it gets hot, okay? Even if you backstage, even if you don't work festivals or outside, it gets hot. And like I said, I don't wear much makeup, but if you are wearing makeup, just to keep it intact, you know, when it get hot and stuff start melting, and it's just, one thing about me, I'd rather be cold than hot. I'm sorry, I hate being hot. So this is like my holy grail. I swear by this. So whew. Okay, the second thing that I take with me on my tours, of course, is my pass. You can't go anywhere without your pass, okay? Sometimes the venue gives you them like when you first arrive, but if you're a regular and you continuously stay on this tour and you have to hold on to it, of course you need to make sure you have this pass everywhere you go, because this is your access. And I know some venues that give you wristbands as well, and that can help, but I prefer to just have everything. The thing that I'm bringing is some medicine, y'all. This is some NyQuil, okay? I take that everywhere I go because you never know like what's gonna happen. The weather changes. Sometimes somebody else is sick and they get the cacking. I hate being sick, y'all. So I would never give myself a situation where it's like, okay, I'm sick and now I can't do anything about it. No, I'm gonna do something about it. The next few things are just for like mental health for me as well, because mental health is important. When you're traveling, you're going far, you have to make sure you have exactly what it is that you need. So first things first is my Kindle. I always take my Kindle to read something on the plane. My goal is to read 10 books this year. So I've read a few like success books by John C. Maxwell. Currently in a book club at Change Church. And so I'm pretty much like reading that book as well, while also reading some other success and self-development books. I read Atomic Habits this year too, and y'all, it changed the game for me. It made things a little more, you know, structured. So I appreciate that. The second thing out of my mental health room is my journal. Okay, I always take my journal with me because if you know me, you know that I'm a very sentimental person. You know that I'm really looking to becoming a mother one day, and not only that, I'm also very like tuned in with my mental health. So all of those things play a role into why I journal. I want my kids to be able to like look back in it. I want myself to be able to look back in it. Of course, after I'm dead, I don't want them looking at this while I'm still alive. I might be talking crap. But eventually I want them to be able to read it and just see like some of the things that I was going through, just to show them, you know, how life can be and how things can be tough, but you get through it. And also I do it for myself because when I first was journaling at 10, everything that I wrote down, I'm doing. I didn't know that I was going to be a tour manager, but if I said I was moving to Atlanta, I did it. If I said that I was working at a studio, I did it. Everything the 10-year-old Kirsten wrote down, it said it happened. It came to pass, okay? That's my favorite scripture too. If you know me, you know that my favorite scripture is Habakkuk 2:2, and it says, write the vision and make it plain, and though it may tarry, it will eventually come to pass. Yeah. So that is my favorite scripture of all time, and I literally had it on my graduation stole, and I do everything by it. So with that being said, yes, I take my journal everywhere, and anything that occurs on tour, I get to talk about it in real time. It's something good to look back at and be proud of yourself. So if you're currently on tour, don't miss this moment. Journal about it. All right, the next thing is business cards, y'all. I take my business cards everywhere I go. And the primary reason I do that is because you never want to be in a situation where you're networking or you meet somebody and then you don't have anything to like give them. Of course, we don't really use physical things anymore in this world. But if it's an artist, I exchange info with them, but I also give them one of these. Because while they're crumpling up stuff in their bag, they might throw it in the trash, but this is a reminder when they see it, like, huh, I did meet that girl. Let me call her. So that is pretty much why I take my business cards with me too, because it's just always good to make sure that you are ready to network. You never know, like sometimes in tour places you have a little extra time if you're anything like me. Up next on my mental health is my anxiety and stress medicine. I don't really take them or rely on medicine anymore, but I think the biggest thing for me is just feeling grounded. I like to stretch in the morning and just do whatever to feel like, okay, I'm starting my day off right. I feel calm. And so also I want to try Let Me Chill. Let me know how those vitamins are. I think that's something that I would definitely look into. So if you're watching this, comment down below and let me know how you feel about the Let Me Chill gummies, because I want to try that next. And I have an Ulta gift card, so I'm definitely gonna go and see if I can give you some Let Me Chill if y'all say it's good. Of course, the next thing I have are my beats. I can't go anywhere without my beats. Of course, I can't listen much in the airport, but when I get 2 good little seconds, whether it's in a hotel room, whether it's before we take off, while we're on the plane, I must have some Chris Brown. See who on my shirt? Okay, so yeah, Chris Brown, I gotta listen to it. And I'm always listening. Pretty much every album comes out at 12 a.m. on Friday. So when I get on that plane for my tours on Friday, it's already up. I'm already cutting on whoever got the latest album, K1, Ryan, Destiny, whoever got the new album, I'm on it, okay? So there's that. Something else that I take with me, y'all, is a Sharpie. So I remember the very first tour manager I ever worked with was like, take a Sharpie because you never know. Sharpie and travel size perfume. So I do have my own personal travel size perfume, but I also try to take an extra one if it's, whether it's a girl or a guy, you know, I just stock up on stuff like that so that you have something that they need. And they also may need a fan. So when I'm carrying that fan around, the travel size perfume, you know, if they're about to go back out to meet and greet with their fans, I have a little quick one too that they can use. And on top of that, the Sharpie, sometimes, of course, the venue will have a Sharpie, but if it's in a quick little moment where somebody's like, oh, can you sign? And we don't have anything, the manager does. Those are my primary tour essentials. I hope that you take something away from that. I hope that you find some tour essentials that make you feel comfortable and that also just, you know, make you feel like, okay, I'm set for this tour. I feel calm. I feel grounded. Always take things that make you feel grounded. Always take things that make you feel grounded, because one thing is, if you are not grounded, the situation of the tour will not be grounded, okay? Your artist is only as comfortable as you are. Your artist is only as good as you are. So if you put them in a chaotic situation, that may set the tone for chaos. So just make sure that you're always on your P's and Q's and you handle that. Thank you so much, entertainers, for tuning in to once again another week in my life. And I hope you learned so much through this video, and I will see y'all next time.